guys, I'm Laura and this is my channel, Laura and Real Expat Life. If you are new here, welcome. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I've uploaded my next video. I am coming to you today from my living room because there are no children home and I don't have to hide. Excuse me, I'm gonna try not to die. Yeah, so different location today, not my kitchen, hooray. The background is a little bit more pretty, you know, in the way of a wall and a gray sofa. I was going through our expenses today and our budget, and I was looking through a receipt. Seriously, got a tickle in my throat. I was looking through a receipt and I've noticed the last couple times we've gone shopping at the supermarket, we usually go once every 8 days. That's kind of our schedule. And I was looking at our receipt and I was noticing that we're spending about 5 to 10 euros more than we usually do for a week's shopping. So I was looking at the receipt to see why and kind of comparing the costs from now to say 6 months ago, wondering if it had something to do with COVID and everything. And I don't know if that's why or if it's because it's summer versus winter or what it is. A lot of things can adjust here on the island with prices because of how we get things into the island and what's in season, what's not. But I was just noticing that a few things had gotten a little bit more expensive, you know, 5 cents per item increase on this thing and 5 cents on that thing and 2 here and a little bit there. And it's amazing how much it adds up. And so it made me think maybe I'm not the only one that needs to really watch those pennies right now. We have a very modest income. I do not work. I'm a stay-at-home mom. And my husband has a job. Luckily, it was not affected by COVID because of the kind of job it was. However, we still have a very modest income. So we really have to make a budget and stick to it every month. And I'm really careful about what we spend money on, what we don't, and when we need to cut down on things and where money goes to make sure that we aren't living paycheck to paycheck. We have money in the bank, we have a savings built up, and we continue to build that savings every month. Now my kids are getting older, they're going to be starting activities soon. My son has just recently started swim lessons, so those costs are going to start kicking in as well, and I need to start worrying about that now. So some of the ways we save money and kind of keep our general costs low are pretty simple things. A lot of people think about the big ticket items like buying a new TV, buying a new sofa, buying a car, and that's where we need to cut costs and not buy these things. And while that definitely helps, a lot of it is just little day-to-day things that you can do to help cut the pennies. And it may not be a big difference on one day, but it makes a big difference over time, especially by the end of the week, month, and year. So these are just some of the things we do around the house that help to cut costs. One of those things has to do with electricity costs, and that is trying to use as little electricity as possible. We turn off lights when we aren't in a room. We make sure that cords are unplugged if they're not in use. That's any kind of charger cords for computers or phones or tablets or whatever. The only thing that stays plugged in is the modem on a regular basis, but otherwise everything else gets turned off. We have a lot of things on power strips, so we just flip those power switches off when we're not using them. In Spain, and this may be true for other countries as well, I'm not sure, check in your specific area, but in Spain there is a cheap hours of electricity and more expensive hours, usually between 11 o'clock in the evening, and in the summer it's until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but in the winter it's until 11 o'clock in the morning. That is kind of the cheap time, and it's less expensive to use electricity at that hour. So I usually try to do things like my laundry, cooking, baking, anything that I'm going to be using extra electricity for during the day, vacuuming, everything like that. I try to do that all in the morning before those hours. Another thing we do is we unplug our hot water heater at that time every day. The kids only take a bath once every few days. I am not a believer in bathing my children every day. I think it helps build their immune system. That's a video for another day. We don't use a lot of hot water. I shower at the gym, so does my husband. So we don't need a lot of hot water around our house. So we find that we unplug our hot water heater every single morning at 11 o'clock in the winter or at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It gets unplugged and it gets plugged back in when we go to bed at night. So that way we are using the electricity to heat that during the cheap time and not when it's more expensive. And we find that we always have hot water when we need it. The kids never have to bathe in a cold bath or anything like that. I've never had a cold shower because of it. Cold! Oh! Definitely really helps cut down the electricity as well. Another really useful tip is to water down your soaps. Not drastically, you still want it to clean things and everything, but you'd be surprised at how concentrated most soaps are. I'm talking about shower gels, hand soap, dish soap. We usually will fill up the bottle, the majority of the bottle, with water, and then I squirt a little bit of liquid in there, and we have used so little cleaning liquid, and my dishes are clean, you guys. We don't have a dishwasher. My dishes are clean. I'm not walking around eating off a dirty place or anything like that. And you'd be surprised at the end of the year how much money you save on soaps, shampoos, things like that. Another thing I do is I make my own general cleaner for the house, and that's for bathroom, kitchen, anything that I need to spray and clean off. I make my own, and I use just a 50-50% mix of water and white vinegar. So you can get vinegar really cheap in a large jug at most stores. So we always have a jug of that, and then I mix it 50-50 with water. Lately I've been putting in like a capful of bleach, just kind of a splash of bleach in there because of the virus, just trying to keep everything as clean as possible. And I use that on most surfaces. It cleans pretty much anything that we have around the house that needs to be clean. I use it as a floor cleaner as well when I'm mopping the floors. So that has really cut down on costs of expensive sprays and cleaners and things like that. You can also add a few drops of essential oil or even just straight lemon juice. If you add a couple tablespoons of lemon juice, it'll help with the smell because vinegar doesn't especially smell very good. But you can put just some straight lemon juice in there, or you can use essential oils, 5 to 10 drops of your favorite scent or a combination of your favorite scents. There's loads of them on Pinterest if you want to look for just like household cleaner scents and things like that. It'll give you the exact how many drops of whatever if you're very specific. I don't usually do that. I'll put some lemon juice in it occasionally, but with the bleach in there, I don't really smell the vinegar as much. I smell the bleach, and I don't really mind the smell of bleach that much. It kind of makes me feel like my house is clean when I smell it. So yeah, the last tip I have in the way of just general household things is get outside. Get outside of your house. You'd be surprised at how much money you save when you just go outside. You don't have to spend money on things outside. You don't have to spend, take lunch with you, pack what you need. Go outside. You'll be using less electricity because you're not turning lights on, you're not turning the television on, game consoles aren't on, phones aren't charging, etc. I mean, come on, getting outside, playing, go for a hike, go to a park with the kids, just get outdoors. And it's not only good for your budget, but it's good for your health as well, and your mental health. You always feel so much better after exercising, walking, whatever. Get outside, enjoy nature, and you'll help you save money as well. Okay, I hope these tips have helped you. I'll be uploading some more videos about budgeting tips and budgets. If you guys are interested, make sure you give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, ta-ta for now.